Really? Max Payne 2 cheats. Oh, I misspelled it. Okay. They give you like 1,000 of everything, but the thing is you just don't have enough inventory space to actually pick it up. That's the problem. Alright, so now we can have some fun.
Max, what's going on?
Hello?
Max.
Anyone there?
Crucially, it means I don't have to loot anything. That's the real thing. I don't have to open like these painkiller cupboards, you know? The real time saver with the cheats is just not having to look for painkillers. You can just walk through the level, you know what I mean? Without being at like a huge disadvantage.
There was a blind spot in my head. A bullet-shaped hole where the answer should be. Call it denial. I wanted to dig inside my skull and scrape out the pain.
Pain residence. Dr. Magdalena from ER. You can give away the bed you were holding for me. That detective we were waiting for was DOA. She's headed for the morgue.
I'll deal with Payne. He's as good as dead.
Freeze, NYPD! Found him.
She's one of them. She's here to kill me. Back off, Payne.
Winterson!
Their black van took me out of the city.
Payne! You're not going anywhere. What happened out there? You did it. Internal affairs was breathing down my neck. Did you do it? You killed her.
No, I can't.
Bullshit.
What the hell? They were after me. It was my fault. You can't run from your past. You'll end up running in circles. Until you fall back down to the same hole you were trying to escape from. Only the hole's grown deeper. I had tried to run from it, edit it out. Winterson was dead. I was a murderer. A false start. The hospital bed wasn't the beginning. It was past the point of no return. The fatal choice already made. And it would get worse before the end. The past is a puzzle, like a broken mirror. As you piece it together and you cut yourself, your image keeps shifting, and you change with it. It could destroy you, drive you mad. It could set you free.
You, inside. Drop your weapons and come out with your hands above your head.
you'll see the choices you didn't know you'd made, like staying at work late to chat with a friend, instead of hurrying home to your family.
Fan out, people! Circle around! Cover all the exits!
Kissing her, I think of the cold laws of cause and effect.
Where are those extra units? Call the Central. We need every available unit here now.
I am afraid, but I start again from the beginning. Trace my own steps to the scene of the crime. I had wanted to be punished for what I had done, but Alfred Woden had kept his word. With his influence, ridiculously, I had emerged from my history of violence unscathed. A hero. I didn't thank him. I couldn't stomach it. I left the DEA. I went back to where I had started out. Back to the job. The NYPD.
Reported shots fired in the warehouse there, acknowledged.
It's mine. I'm on it.
10-4.
It wasn't a call for a homicide detective, but I knew the address. The warehouse belonged to Vladimir Lem. He was connected to organized crime. We went back a while, like brothers caught on opposite sides in a civil war. His words.
This is really good, actually. I really want to mod this game to have better gameplay somehow. I hope I can make the enemies more interesting to fight as well. The noir overdose in this game is like kind of better, I guess, than the first game, like a little bit. It's like even more intense, but it's not shit, you know what I mean?
Perps inside. Possible hostage situation.
10-4, backup is on its way.
I'm going in.
Is that the first story is sort of like the origin story, right? So it can't be too much. But now that we're like second round with Max Payne, right? They can go like full cheesy noir, right? And yeah, obviously that's why I'm here, right? But the slow-mo combat just needs to be, if the slow-mo combat can be made to be very close to, well, as good as the first game, right? It doesn't have to be the first game, but it just needs to be, I guess, as fun, right? Maybe in a different way, right? If you can achieve that, then it'll be really fun to play through this game a few more times.
With no way to deal with the past, I kept my eyes on the road, off the rearview mirror and the roadkill behind me. I chased lesser mysteries, other people's crimes.
Oh, by the way, this makes it to YouTube. Obviously, this is a... I lost my save. So we're going to use cheats so we don't have to run around and loot to quickly get back to where we were. We need to get to the room where Max Payne says, I needed a gun. I needed to get past him. It's after like a dream sequence. That's where we got to get back to.
NYPD!
Whoa, easy, officer, easy. Just cleaning the place.
I'll probably name these episodes like 6.1, 6.2, and so on.
Cleaning company.
You didn't hear anything suspicious just now?
No. Oh, wait! You mean the gun?
Obviously, you
workshop
can skip
upstairs.
6.2, 6.3 if you don't want to watch the cheat
Sure,
run
officer.
through.
If that's what you want.
You can just go to episode part 7.
Officer, you cops got it easy.
First disguise didn't fool me.
Ha!
He was leading me into a trap. The perps were masquerading as cleaners.
Ha! Ingram is not as good in this game at all as it was in the first game. I think because of the way the stagger mechanics don't work in this game, I guess.
Violent man by nature, but it pisses me off more than anything when they do that. It's an insult. That's what it is. We're trying to clean the place. They should have more sense than to bleed on the floor.
That's the ticket. We should find a...
Hoffman's waiting in the van. The hardware Christmas bag. As soon as the guys get Jackie Brown in there taken care of, we're done.
The room looked like gun storage, but it had been cleaned out. The answering machine had a message on it.
You've reached Annie Finn. I'm not here right now because I'm building some nasty things that kill.
Enough chit-chat. Finish her.
Wait! The mob guys attacked us! I have no beef with you guys! You took them out! Listen, I work for Vladimir!
Honey, you work for no one.
What do you want? We can...
NYPD, drop him!
Finish her!
Oh God, no!
Like all the bad things in my life, it started with the death of a woman. I couldn't save her.
After him! Don't let him get away!
The corner mechanics are like the worst.
Come on. Finally.
Hey!
Mona?
Max, we gotta stop meeting like this.
Mona.
Shoot him!
If you think nothing can get to you, you're lying to yourself. At best, you're temporarily dead. A lightning bolt can reanimate you without a warning.
I've forgotten about that quote. That's quite the... What?
My backup had arrived, but the cleaners were slipping away, making a run for it.
You all right?
I'm okay, damn it.
Hey, we're working together on this.
You got sloppy Payne. You screwed up. It's unacceptable that she's dead. You can do better.
I played it as business as usual. But everything had changed the moment those elevator doors opened to reveal Mona. Annie Finn was a licensed gunsmith, licensed dealer in firearms.
Right. The property owned by Vladimir Lem. 3 groups. 1, DOAs who had connections to Russian OC.
Identified as Finn's employees.
2, the Mafia. And 3, the clowns wearing the cleaning company jumpsuits.
They mentioned a name, Kaufman.
This one's evil. It has only started. I don't like it. I don't like it a bit. It's yours, Payne. It makes no sense. For you, Winterson, homicide, Sebastian Gate. It's gonna be all over the news.
The senator?
Winterson was the ideal. What the job was all about. Someone to look up to. Bravura knew it too.
We got lucky. There's an eyewitness.
She hovered over my shoulder, whispering warnings. I didn't want to listen. Mona was the suspect in Winterson's case. I didn't tell them I had seen her. I wanted to stall. Maybe it was because she was alive when everyone else kept dying on me. Survivor's guilt washed away.
Detective Winterson's phone.
Give me that.
Your boyfriend.
The computer search on the squeaky cleaning company and Kaufman had come up empty. I needed to talk to Vlad, get his version, be the bearer of bad news on Annie Finn. Vlad had bought the old Ragnarok nightclub. He was renovating it into a trendy restaurant, Vodka. Mona's appearance had triggered a dislocation, schizophrenia. I felt elation, but with it, fear that all the past evils had come along for the ride.
Vlad! Max! 911! Bad guys with big guns! They've got me pinned down at the entrance hall! Could use some help! Could use it now!
I had to find another way to reach Vlad. No time to call backup. My case had a life of its own. I got in through the back door. Memories of my previous visit here lurked in the shadows, a musty smell under the coat of new paint.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present Max Payne, New York's finest, with the biggest mobster body count ever. Dearest guests, prepare to die. I'd love to come and welcome you, but I'm busy dodging bullets and hiding under a desk at the moment.
Someone was talking on the other line.
Nothing to worry about, baby. I'm going to be all right. When haven't I been all right? Max is here now. You know Max. I'll call you when it's over.
Vlad was a perfect gentleman, reassuring his girlfriend, someone other than Annie.
How do you like it now?
Hey, you're Max Payne.
Afraid so.
Max, I'm Mike, Vladimir's friend. You are the sheriff. How about making me your deputy?
Let's go bail out your boss before he talks us all to death.
Let's ride.
Oh, what a fucking shit name you have. Freak Lead. What the hi. This is, I lost my save, so we gotta get back to where we were. So I'm gonna use cheats to get loot.
Winterson would have
So
found
that I never have to run around and do any searching, so we can just essentially speedrun the game and have a lot of fun.
Someone must have heard the gunfire. Logic was such a liar.
And we gotta be careful, because we can still, like, die to damage. Speaking of, Jesus Christ.
Memories of my previous visit here lurked in the shadows, a musty smell under the coat of new paint.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present Max Payne, New York's finest, with the biggest mobster body count ever. Dearest guests, prepare to die. Max, I'd love to come and welcome you, but I'm busy dodging bullets and hiding.
No, you don't understand. I've already played through the game. I just had a recording accident, so I lost one recording. And I don't have a save to go back, so I need to get back very quickly to make, you know, my YouTube playthrough, right? So it's not a. I played through it normally.
Do this nice.
I just want my save back as fast as possible.
Roger told me backup should be on its way. Someone must have heard the gunfire. Logic was such a liar.
It is a very fun game. It is very fun to shoot things in this game, so I don't mind shooting through the game again. I just don't want to have to walk around and loot it again. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Max, my friend, it was fun for a moment there. But my gun doesn't have unlimited ammo. If you can, hurry.
Trouble. That was bad.
Vlad wouldn't be able to hold on much longer if it wasn't too late already.
Fucking die already!
You're not even trying!
Hang on, Vlad.
Max!
I'm coming.
No, Payne! Not him! Fuck! What are you waiting for? Circle around and kill him! Kill the cop!
I'm leaving after this little chapter here. 'Cause, I have somewhere I need to go. But I'll be back in 2.5 hours at the shortest, and maybe I'll just do something else, and maybe I won't stream. But if you want to watch my playthrough of this game, it will be on my YouTube once all the parts are out. I tend to wait until the playthrough is done before I start hitting publish. But yeah, thanks for thanks for dropping by. It's a great game. Although I preferred the first game. I think the first game has even better combat.
My hero! You saved my life! I could kiss you!
Vinny Gognitti, a criminal mastermind?
He is wiping out everyone he sees as competition on the black market gun trade. The mafia underboss has made a deal with someone powerful.
What was it you did for a living again?
Scout's honor, detective. I have mended my ways, evolved to a higher level. Vodka will be the best restaurant in the city. I'll be rich and famous. Annie was a princess. They killed her for no reason.
You hurt your hand just now?
A hot date yesterday. Can I tempt you?
Let's pretend I'm on duty.
Man, it's so cool, dude. It's so fucking noir. Concentrated noir.
Something in the night felt like a door had been opened. An echo of the past. An old monster snapping its eyes open in the depths of my brain. Closing your eyes forces you to look at the darkness inside.
And now, address unknown.
I hadn't slept in a long time. When I did, my dreams were nightmares.
I was trapped in a nightmare. My evil double had taken my girlfriend.
In a nightmare, every choice you make is a wrong one.
Following him, I had somehow slipped into a twisted, alternate reality. Noir, York City.
I would wake up at night, afraid that day was a dream I'd forget.
My double was John Mira. He was the devil incarnate, a fallen angel.
The flesh of fallen angels.
He was a serial killer. He had framed me for his murders. I was hiding in a cheap motel. One night, I woke to a knock at my door. Someone slipped a note under the door. It was a clue.
Max. 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 Sorry I woke you. It's a secret. You must tell no one. You better answer that.
Nothing to worry about, baby. I'm going to be alright. When haven't I been alright? Max is here now. You know Max. I'll call you when it's over. I love
We need to hit the place now. Payne's in there. They know that you know. You must run.
Max Payne! Drop your weapons and come out with your hands above your head! This is your final warning! Run, Payne, run! We are gonna shoot!
Bring him down. Shoot the kill.
You don't need a lawyer. Just tell us what you did.
Payne, you're done. Everything you say will be used against you.
What are you hiding? She's alive, isn't she?
People get near you, they die. You killed your family. You killed them all.
Confess.
Do I get my phone call?
You already got it.
Don't push your luck. Sit down.
We're just getting started.
Payne, sit down now.
Don't get any bright ideas.
Put it down. Put it down now.
Drop your weapon.
My hero.
When you're waking up, the world is a blur. What was clear in a dream suddenly makes no sense. No surreal rescues, no easy, magic way out. But you are awake. I had woken up to a knock at my door. Mona, I was wondering when you'd show up.
Max, I'm not here to kill you. Aren't you going to ask me in? You are in danger. Both of us are. There's a contract out on us.
There's no us in this. You're a murder suspect. I should take you in. I was hiding behind the badge. The real thing is never what you think it will be.
Sniper!
They found me. This was a mistake.
Wait, Mona! She had woken me up. She had come and gone, and now I was being shot at. I had to catch her, find out what was going on.
Alright. That's where I'll stop for now. But regarding like this game and the first game, the big difference in between the two games, as far as I'm concerned, is that in the first game, enemies do more damage to you. Bullets are more lethal in the first game. Enemies do more damage to you, but the slow-mo time slows down time a lot more than it does in this game. In this game, it kind of looks cooler because time doesn't slow down quite as much as in the first game, so it's a little bit more hectic, you know what I mean? It feels a little bit less like frozen. But what was really cool about the first game was that when you didn't have slow-mo time, you died almost instantly. Whereas in this game, you tank bullets. However, in the first game, it was very possible to play in a way where you would never take damage at all. It was just very hard. Because in this game, enemies often shoot you around objects. They can kind of shoot through corners a little bit. And also they raise their weapon incredibly quickly. And they don't really need to aim it at you. They kind of just, they're just, you know, computer-controlled opponents with perfect aim, right? In the first game, their model needed to raise their hand, and then they started to turn it towards you. And during that time, they would shoot, so you would always get an audio warning that they were aiming at you because they would shoot you. The first bullet would like always miss. It wouldn't have aimed fully on you right yet. They would fire, right? Then they aim towards you, and you can easily dodge this bullet just by walking in the correct... The second bullet you can always very easily dodge by just running in the direction. Well, running in almost any direction. The third one, though, is kind of hard. So you have until the count of 3, basically. 4 if you count before the first bullet, when you see them, right? You have until the count of 3 until you take damage, right? And then you take a lot of damage. But what's really interesting is that they had to turn towards you, so you can look on their model what scenario it is. Like, if all the enemies are turning the same way, then it's easy, but like if 2 enemies are coming towards you from 2 different angles, then you need to take one of them out very quickly. Because otherwise you can't do anything to the second guy by dodging him, by moving out of the way. And if you shoot, if somebody's aiming at you like this, you should fire on this shoulder. Because if you hit them in the shoulder, you turn them away from you, and then they must aim at you again. That was really interesting. that was a very interesting type of gameplay in a game all about slow motion shooting, right? Because if the game had been less interesting, it would have just been about aiming for their head and shooting them. Obviously shooting them in the head is good, but shooting them on the side is a lot easier. It buys you enough time to kill them. Anyway, right. But I feel like in the second game, the slow-mo doesn't slow time as much. So, first of all, it's very hard to do this. Secondly, it seems that the enemies in this game either turn or don't need to actually point their gun at you to shoot at you. Enemies seem less accurate in this game, but they raise their gun and spray faster. Whereas in the first game, you could kind of look where their gun was pointing to determine where the bullet would go. So, this second game feels more like a shoot them up before they shoot you up game, rather than like this not strategic, but rather than this like tactical body part shooter, you know? In the same way as, in a lot of ways, the Max Payne 1 has a lot of comparisons to Dead Space, not because you blow off arms of people, because by shooting them on the correct side of their body or whatever, you slow down their gun inevitably pointing at you, or where you're going, right? Which I think is really cool. I like shooters that add a little bit... I like shooters that don't just say that your goal is to aim at their head. I like shooters where the ideal part of the enemy to aim on can change by the moment based on like some organic rules, you know, some game mechanics. And Max Payne 1 really nails that. But I do prefer the atmosphere of the second game. This you know, even more hard-boiled noir story, right? Yeah, I'll be back in about 2.5 hours, I think.